Well, welcome back into the studio for another self-care art journaling session. Can't believe we're in October and getting to the end of this journal. Now I do have a single page. I'm leaving this page. I'm going to put a picture of my granddaughter here since this is a personal art journal. It's not going to become an art book that I sell. I will do something on this page, single page, and then once, see, this is October, so this is November, this is December, and then I have this single page, and I'll do something on this single page. And of course, at the very beginning, the front page is not done. I usually use that as some type of a title to indicate what this journal was used for, because it is a personal journal. So I have no ideas other than maybe I might start someplace different than collage. But we need to pull, and I don't know what I'm going to use. This is not a pocket. There's no pocket here to do for my journaling. Towards the beginning of this year, I did journal on the background and then arted over that. I might do something like that. I don't really know at this point, but I do know that I need to pull a prompt and dive into that. So, a bunch of pens here, and these probably need to be shaken up a bit because they've been sitting for a whole month on my shelf. Okay. What fears hold me back from living my most authentic self? Well, that's a doozer. Whoo, chihuahuas. What fears hold me back from living as my most authentic self? All right, I think I'm going to hold this to the side before I start journaling so I can think about that a little bit. And I think I'm going to doodle on the background here. Now this has some of my granddaughter's finger painting on it, and this finger paint that they have is kind of lifts up really easy once it dries. So I've put clear gesso over the top of it. But I have noticed that sometimes when I go to put another liquid medium over the top, it kind of smears a little bit. Not a lot, but a little bit. But we'll see how that holds up. I have a lot of bleed through from something else I did. I think it was this page. There's a lot of bleed through here. There's a little bit of it here as well. So I need to pull out some markers or something that I'm gonna doodle with. So I will be right back. All right, so I have found my Neocolor 2s, which I haven't played with in a really long time. So I think that I'm going to kind of use a combination of the Neocolor 2s, which are water soluble, as well as a black Posca paint pen. I think that's what I'm going to doodle with, and I'm just going to let the page, I'm not going to be tied into any imagery on this. I am just doing. So I'm going to just file the page and do some things first with my black pen and then come in with my Neocolors. There is a lot of color going on here, so I felt like I needed to bring in my black pen to just break that up a little bit, maybe focus in some areas, and then we'll see what happens. I might just collage over the whole thing. But for today, I am going to have some fun. So that is where I'm going to get started. I like this pear shape that is appearing here. So you can see it lifted up a little bit right here. And that's a little bit of what I've been experiencing as well. on my marker. I'm going to give that a little shot with my hairdryer just to make sure it's dry. So I'm just coming in with my Neocolors and scribbling a little bit on each side of these shapes on this side of the page, and then just dipping my finger in my water and activating those Neocolors because they are water soluble. And this color is on this page. It's more of a purple rather than I think this is a periwinkle. Sky blue, really. It's got a lot of purple in it, at least in my eyesight. And I thought it'd be nice to bring that over a little bit more onto this page. And see where this gesso was on the page? It is not taking the color. So that's pretty cool how it's peeking through. I love gesso. Okay, I feel like I want to come in with some gesso and push some areas back a little bit, and then we'll see where that takes us. Kind of falling by the seat of my pants, and that's okay. Okay, so I really like that. I am smitten, if you will, with how this turned out, and I'm shocked that I have not done any collage, but I love the randomness of it. Yeah, I've kind of brought the two sides together. They both have something in common, the shapes that I outlined, and the color, a lot of the color is similar. This side's a little heavier with a true purple and a red, and this side is heavier with a yellow and green, but there's green on this side, there's reds on this side, there's yellows on this side. So it pairs up well, and there's purples on this side. So it pairs up well. I feel like it's not quite balanced. This is more concentrated in a line, but I followed her fingerprints that I could find, and this I just randomly followed shapes. But that leads to me to thinking about doing something for a pocket or a flip. So I had this idea while I was arting about how I haven't really used a lot of fabric. A little bit here, but I really haven't used a lot of fabric in, well, a lot there in this. And I was thinking about a fabric flip with a piece of paper on the back side, so you can flip it up and see the journaling. That's a possibility that I really liked. So I'm gonna go do some fabric searching and see what I can come up with, and I will be back. Okay, I found these. These are from, I think they're a drapery fabric sample book that I had, and I have this color which kind of matches this, and this color which kind of matches this red-ish pink color. I'm kind of partial to this color, and I like that. So I like how see-through it is, but if I put paper on the back, then you're not gonna see through it, of course. Well, I still like it if it looks like that, is what I'm asking myself. Maybe part of it should be see-through and I don't put paper on all of it. All right, I'm gonna cut this down and try and get an idea of how much we need. And I automatically assumed it would go on this side, and then you could peek. Yeah, I don't think it should be the whole page. So I'm gonna trim it up. That means it's gonna be a long, narrow piece. I think I'm going to sew over the top and sew under this bottom like that. All right, I'm gonna go do that and then we'll be right back because I'm not quite sure about anything else at this point in our little, that was put on there crooked and that's gonna drive me bonkers. Well, maybe not with the, I have the paper back there. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna sew this. It dawned on me I could do this as a belly band and have something that slides in there so that you can take it out and see what's through. But then I'd have to attach it at the top and the bottom and you wouldn't ever see that. But is that a great loss? But we just did a belly band. Does that even matter? No, it doesn't. I can say that. So I think I'm gonna try and figure out what I would put in there, what I would journal on and slide in there. I really like how that looks. I like seeing it through. It's the mystery. I'm gonna look at tags. They don't want to come out and play. This is a watercolor tag. That might be cool. These I just feel are too big and thin. Yeah, I have these watercolor tags. These are nice. You know, I think I'm gonna do that because that's more room to write on. And if, you know, if I needed to, I could have more space. Okay, I'm gonna get 3 of these because I have a feeling that's not gonna be enough space. Okay, and I still have these out. So I think what I'm gonna do is on one side, I'm gonna put this stuff away, or to the side, give myself some room, and I'm going to do some doodling on this and use my Neocolor 2s. And I think what I'm going to do first, I've not used this stuff yet, so I don't really know, but I think I'm going to splash a little bit of the Distress Resist spray, Textured Resist spray. Yeah, I'm gonna do that first because I haven't used it. This is a good time to play. It's always a good time to experiment. Unless you're doing a piece of work for, like, you know, it's commissioned or whatever. Okay, I've got my spray box. Okay, we're just gonna go for it. It says let dry. Does that mean I have to let it dry naturally? I think I do, because it doesn't say dry, it says let dry. I am going to let this dry, and I will be back when it is done drying. Well, I don't know, that got a little shiny. It's got a shine to it. It didn't take long for it to dry at all. So you can definitely see it's gonna be a resist. So I think I'm gonna come in with some of our colors here. So definitely that sky blue that I used already. This is kind of a teal, malachite green. Let's look at that. That might be too, well, that's kind of tealish. A little bit of that. We definitely need some buttery yellow. I thought I had a buttery yellow. I guess that's my buttery yellow. What is that? Just yellow. We need a red. Don't really do red. Let's see if that'll, yeah, that'll give us, what is that? That is crimson alizarin. Okay, so those are our colors. So I'm gonna come in first with this really teal, and I'm gonna get this down in just one spot on each of these cards, and then the red, because we want to use the least amount of these two colors. So I'm gonna come in and add those. I'm going to activate those and then come back to the others. See how it plays with this resist stuff I sprayed. This could be a total flop, but we're having fun. You can see it resisting right in there. Alright, can really see the resist happening there. I think we should start to see some of it here as well. Put those away. And now I'm going to come in with this yellow. Feels a little too yellow to me. So hopefully when I add water to it, it'll flux out. And I'm going to activate that. Oh, that's very yellow. So what I'm going to do to tame this yellow is I'm going to get pretty wet and then pull it back with a paper towel. Yeah, there we go. Okay, and then this periwinkle. Another thing I could have done is I could have dipped this in the water and then added it, to the paper, but I like to smudge with my finger a lot with the Neocolors. So this feels a little too pastel-y to me now. So I really want our bright colors to pop a little bit more. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna come back in with those two colors and dip it, and then come in and kind of add some intense color in an area that it already was. And give it a little bit of a spritz. Let it bleed. Okay, I kind of left you hanging with this Distressed Resist Spray because I don't think that this is a good example of how it works. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to spray this and set it aside to dry, and then at the very end we'll see how that responds, and we'll use the Distress Spray on this. Now, this is not exactly what I had in mind, I'm gonna be honest, but we're gonna take it from here. I'm gonna come in and distress the edges using the Fossilized Amber. Spice it up a little bit. I don't know if that was the way to go. What I might do is I just might come in on just where that yellow is and do it there. And then come in, I'm gonna come in with Vintage Photo and do the other edges. Maybe I should just do the whole thing in Vintage Photo. Kind of like the way that looked. Okay, now to attach these, I was going to do like a faux, and so this is the front, and I could use washi tape or I could use a little bit of this, but glue is gonna really show. I think we're better off going with some washi tape. That might be nice. This is a Tina Walker washi tape. I want it close, but I don't want it too close because this is gonna fold in on it. So I'm gonna give myself a little bit of space here, and I'm gonna turn it over and do the same thing on the front. Has a little bit of that teal in it. That's nice. I never rely on the stick of washi tape. I always add glue. This is the front, and this one can be closer because it's just gonna be one layer. I didn't put any glue in the center because I want it to be able to fold and not be stiff from the glue. Alright, so this is our front. So this is going to fold in, and this will fold in, and that'll be our front tag. The other thing is I could make tie with the same fabric. I'm going to do that. I'm going to just use my tiny attacher. There we go. I get the journal. Make sure that that's loose enough. Yeah, that'll be fine. Okay, so I'm gonna glue this down, and I'm gonna use Fabri-Tac. Uh-oh, it looks like my Fabri-Tac had a blowout. Oh my, that's not good. Wow, what a waste. Looks like the lid got, did it disintegrate? I don't know what happened there. I got a mess to clean up. So I'm going to go across here with a line of Fabri-Tac. I could have also used the Super Fabri-Tac. I keep forgetting I have it because it's in my drawer of tube glues. Ugh, that's gonna be a project. And okay, there we go. I got it nice and loose so this can fit in here easily. Kind of be like a net. Is that too loose? Might be. I'm gonna go up a little bit. There we go. So you can see stuff through. Very nice, very nice. All right, before we get to journaling, I wanted to follow up with our little tester here of the Distress Resist Spray. So I'm gonna come in with some Mowed Lawn. And I'm going to use the stain on one side and the oxide on the other side. So here's the stain. I'm gonna add a little water. See what that does. You can definitely see where I sprayed that, huh? I guess I only got it in a little spot. Okay, then the Distress Oxide. Well, you can see where I sprayed the other, but you really can't see the... I think I'm gonna have to play with this. I think I'm going to have to play and figure out this resist spray. It says you can spray it through a stencil even. Oh, I better clean the nozzle. It's telling me I need to clean the nozzle between each use. So I will do that as well. Anyways, that'll give you an idea if this is something that you want to investigate further. I might just have to do another installation of resist techniques. I've been thinking about it. All right, let's get to journaling. This pen bleeds, it's not permanent, so I'm a little hesitant. I think I'm gonna go find a permanent ballpoint. I'll be right back. Okay, I found a pen. It doesn't look like it's black, but it is it's blue. Oh, it is so hard to find a black pen in this house. Okay, I think I'm just gonna go ahead and use this. It's a little thicker than I wanted. What fears hold me back from living my most authentic self? Okay, that was hard to get into this small space. I need to let this dry, and I'm keep coming back to, I really don't want to put anything on this. It seems so simple to me. I don't know. I really don't want to put anything over this. I really like the interaction of only getting a glimpse of what's below. So I really feel like I'm going to not have any words or an additional focal point on here. The other thing I am going to do is, so there's our tag. Will that be hidden back there? I like to keep the prompts with everything. Oh yeah, see, that works. Yeah, it's simple and understated, but I have to tell you, that was fun. Just to have this kind of peek out and come together like it did, I really like it, and how we can just see a hint and then it's something new when we pull it out. I really like that. Another month down. I really appreciate you coming along. Really, my journaling, I guess it does really kind of is reflective in this a bit, but it was really personal this time, and I feel very vulnerable reading that aloud. So I am not choosing to do so this month, but I can tell you that I don't feel completely safe to be my authentic self, especially on social media. There's too many people out in this world who, if they don't agree with you or don't like you for something, some reason, then they attack. They don't know how to live with people that they don't agree with. And so that gives me some fear because I do have a social media presence. So there is a part of me that I keep more private, and I think we all need to do that, and I think that is a good thing. I think that is self-preservation, and that's kind of where I'm coming from. Am I my authentic self? Not 100% of the time, but I think that that is okay. Feeling a bit on the vulnerable side with that prompt, which probably means it was probably really a good one. So I am going to put this away, and thank you once again for being here. We only have 2 months left of this journaling series, and I hope that if you are playing along that you've gotten a lot out of it, or even if you aren't playing along and just watching, I hope that you've gotten whatever way that it's touched you or is touching you, then I am glad for that. So I have just announced, and I'll link it up in the upper right hand corner, the new art journaling series for next year. And it's actually going to be a challenge. So if you're interested in that, please go to the link over here. That is the making of the journal itself and me talking about where I've come in my art journaling series and why I've chosen to go with the next 2026's series, and how you can participate. So thank you for coming. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.